This video is part 4 to our Creating Digital Workflow with D2L and Google. So you've created the assignment in D2L, you've set up all your Google Classroom things, and you've actually handed out the assignment for your students and they have now finished working on it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to collect that final assessment into our D2L so we can get some additional feedback tools and some more tools we can use with parents. Let's go in. So this is the student's point of view. It's their page. They're going to go in, and I've already created that assignment area. So we're going to click on there. And here's the assignment. And we're just going to go in and we're going to add that file. Now remember, this is the file from Google Drive and Classroom. Remember, the student didn't turn it in because it has to be an open file in their Google Drive. So let's click Google Drive. And there it is. There's that Twitter monster Google Draw that I use. So I'm going to click the checkbox. I'm going to hit add. And now it's attached there. Remember, the students can still record audio or video. If you have more instructions for them to do, they can type whatever they want here. But I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to click submit. So we're going to review the submission. Everything looks good. It's all I wanted from my student point of view, and I'm going to hit done. There you can see in my assignment history, there's a Twitter monsters. It's submitted in one file under completion, so it's good to go now. Let's flip over to the teacher side now and see what they can do with that file. Back in my teacher D2L, I can go click on the class tools and go to assignments to see them all. Or if I want to get to that assignment specifically, I can just go click on the Twitter monsters and it's going to take me to that specific one. I can see all my submissions here. Right now, obviously, I only have one student in my classroom because that's all I gave it to. But there's a couple things we can do here as well. You can see all the submissions by clicking submissions up there, just not by all the users. You can even email the users who haven't submitted, and you can add some feedback files through here. What I like to do though is I like to go click right onto the student's submission. Here it is. Remember, it's going to look different depending on what the submission is. If it's a Google Doc, it'll come in fully, so it kind of looks like a PDF. But this is actually the annotator screen here. That's pretty amazing. So there's my PNG. That's what I brought it in as a picture from the Google Draw. But look at all the tools I have up here. I can zoom in, zoom out. There's more pages I can go there, but this is where it gets really exciting. You have an actual drawing or highlighter feature up here. You can scroll over text and highlight it. You can erase. So I'm just going to do this freeform highlight to show you what it looks like. And I can go in and I can highlight and annotate right on the student's page. Maybe I want to actually add a text box right above that. So I can just click beside it and say whatever I want to say. And if I need to move it, there's a little hand tool that just allows me to kind of move things around on the page as well. The other really cool feature here too, if you want, there's also a sticky note in here. So let's say I do a sticky note with a little check mark. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click, maybe let's go beside Darth Vader here. So you can actually add sticky notes on here too, which is really cool because then they disappear, but when a student goes back over that, look at that, it pops right up. So that's a really unique way that you can annotate right on D2L, which is I know a lot of us are looking for when you upload PDFs, things like that. And you've got line tools, you can print things out, do all sorts of bigger things, and even download it to your page as well. So that's just stuff you can do on the page, but when you look over to the right, there's a lot of other things you can do here too. So this is just annotating. This is where you can actually add your feedback. So there's lots of things you can do. You can see all the different types of information. You can see what the original assignment was. But if you go down here, you can create or associate a rubric that you might have before. So if you are marking this for summative or you create rubrics, you can use this tool, and we have lots of videos on that as well. But here's what I really like. It's down here. It's the feedback. So in this feedback, you can write anything you want, but notice it looks exactly like the content view, where I can go in, I can even insert stuff in their feedback, which is pretty amazing. You can do pictures, add links. You can even add a file, but look here, record audio, record video. So I'm going to click record video. There I am. Surprise. Let me change this a little bit. So you can actually record this using it as feedback. So when I click record, I can say to my student, oh, really good job, Luke. I love the fact that you added so much detail in your bios. They're really unique, quippy, and fun to read. Then you can just stop it. So when I click record, I can say to my student, oh, really good job, and then just add that. You don't need to listen to me. You're going to title what it is, and just hit add. So now you can see there's a little feedback file right here. So just to back this up, research definitely proves that students respond 80% better with either audio or video feedback. Writing comments is great, but if you really want effective feedback where they actually listen to it and want to actually take that change and maybe do some more stuff, using video and audio is extremely powerful in this situation. So if I have everything that I like on here, I'm just going to click publish, or I can save draft if I'm not quite done, but I'm going to publish mine. If I want to add something else to it too, I could go in, so I could update it. Save successfully. And when I want to go back to the rest of the submissions, I go to back to user submissions. If I get the page has been edited, do I want to save? The answer is always going to be save. And then it takes me back to there. So one quick flip over again, let's go see what that looks like from the student point of view. Back on the student page, they're actually going to get a notification that you have added feedback. So if I go up to the little bell with the dot right now, when I click on it, oh, you can see feedback update on the Twitter Monster page. Let's go click on that. And here's the feedback where the assignment is. Now, you have two different ways to look at the feedback. Number one, remember we added that video file. So if I click on that feedback file, it's going to download it, and then the student would just play it. So when I click record, and there's that video that recorded my previous comment. When I go back, here where it says inline feedback, this is going to be that annotation tool that we used. When I click on that, it should open up the actual PNG. There it is. You can see my text annotation, my highlight, and if I go down to that check mark, there it is there. So that's a little preview of how that feedback tool in D2L looks really, really powerful for students and for you to comment on. And that will also conclude the 4-part series of how to create that digital workflow using Google Classroom and D2L integrated together.